Hello, everyone. Welcome to another ledgeview Partners webinar. Today, Tom Lemirand, a Microsoft Dynamics 365 expert and pre-sales engineer at ledgeview Partners, will be providing a demonstration on Microsoft Dynamics 365 for sales. Before I let him get started, I have some quick housekeeping notes to cover with you, so bear with me here. Sit back, relax, sip some coffee or tea, whatever you prefer. I promise I'll be quick. I'm Julia Flaherty, Digital Marketing Specialist at ledgeview Partners, and would love to introduce our business to those joining us for the first time. ledgeview Partners is a business and technology consulting firm who partners with organizations to transform sales, marketing, and customer service operations and processes that are supported by core technologies like customer relationship management, CRM, and marketing automation. Our certified experts provide strategic business advice, process definition, and technology solutions that advance your business processes forward, helping you to achieve your unique business goals in sales, marketing, customer service, and CRM. For those of you that have been on our webinars before, welcome back. It's nice to see you. And for all of you newbies, thanks for joining us for the first time. We're excited to see you back for more. Today, we're going to be taking up about a half hour of your time. This webinar is being recorded and will be available on demand after the live session. All of you will receive a follow-up email after the webinar is complete with a link to access the presentation. So if you haven't already, go ahead and add @ledgeviepartners.com to your safe senders list so that you have no trouble receiving the email. But if you do happen to find any emails from us in your spam or junk folders, just go ahead and mark those as not spam. We encourage you to share this within your company and professional networks. To ensure the best audio quality, we are having all of you on listen-only mode, but if you do have a question or comment, just go ahead and submit those in the question pane of your GoToWebinar control panel, and we will follow up with you afterwards. After this webinar, I do encourage you to go to ledgeviepartners.com and explore our vast resource library. We have many pieces of insight and tips and offerings to share with you, from over 1,000 blogs to almost 50 expert ebooks and 100 infographics and even more content variety. There's something for any job function to learn from. With all of that in mind, it's now time to introduce today's presenter, Tom Lemirand. Tom is an essential part of the ledgeview team who lends his expertise, passion, and experience with Microsoft Dynamics 365 to help our customers and fellow team members thrive every day. Tom really embodies our core values at ledgeview, from taking joy in the work he does to using his gifts to help others succeed. So now that you know a little more about Tom, it's time to introduce him and let him get started.
All right, thank you very much, Julia. I appreciate the introduction. So as Julia mentioned, we're going to be jumping right into what the core D365 for Sales module all entails. So this is going to be a quick webinar, and it's on purpose that way. We don't want to inundate you with all these features and capabilities. We really want to show you that this is a tool that salespeople and the sales team can use. We're going to be showing you the core capabilities today by looking at lead management, pipeline management, going into the mobile site for an on-site visit, and then coming back to see what some of the nice analytics are available inside Dynamics. But like I mentioned, this is going to be a quick kind of day in the life demo. There's going to be many more features and capabilities that are available inside of Dynamics, but after today, we hope that you can see that, there are a lot of core capabilities your sales team can use, and then we can talk to you about more and more features and functionality, but today is really just going to be focusing on, what your sales team probably does on a daily basis. So this is as much as the slide presentation I want to go through. I like to do my demos and jump right in. So during this demo, I know everyone is on mute, but if you have any questions, please just submit them and we will get back to you and we'll respond to all of your questions that you may have after the webinar is over. So today, I am, like I mentioned, in Dynamics 365. I'm in the Sales module inside of here. And what does that mean? So what comes out of the box in the Sales module are, kind of our dashboards and activities. We have accounts and contacts. We have leads and opportunities. We can go into here and look at quotes and orders and invoices. Again, lots of times probably orders and invoices are integrated with your ERP to show them inside of Dynamics. But there's also some marketing capabilities, some goals, and then some service if you want to see what's happening from a customer service standpoint. But as I mentioned today, we are just going to be focusing on day in the life of a salesperson. So how do I start my day? I'm going to start my day using a dashboard. So with that, I'm going to minimize this so you can see where we're going. And I have a very simple dashboard set up today for my salesperson to look at. My name is Jeff. I am going to be the daily salesperson today. And there are 4 things that I am really concerned with. I'm concerned with tasks or to-dos that I need to be working on. I want to know what my calendar, what my week looks like. I also want to know, what leads and opportunities I should be looking at and working on. So with that, let's jump right in and I'll show you how this dashboard can work. So right through here, I see these are some tasks that are assigned to me. I can see the due date. I can see what they're related to. I see I have a schedule that I have to follow up with Susan. I know that this is something that I have been putting off and I need to talk to Susan. So I'm actually going to open up what this task is related to. So I'm going to open up this opportunity right here. Now what this is doing is that this is bringing up the opportunity, and I can see everything related to this opportunity for Susan. So now I notice that I passed the qualify stage in my business process flow, and now I'm in the develop stage. So I'm going to look into my develop stage and see what I need to be doing here. So I already identified the customer need, but now I need to look at, see what we're going to propose to them, identify who the stakeholders are, identify any competitors we may have, and then, most importantly, who's going to sign this. This is a very large opportunity for me, so I just want to understand that if we have all this, the stakeholders identified appropriately. So with that, before I give Susan a call, I'm going to see kind of what we're going to be proposing. So I'm going to look at the product lines here. And I see that we are talking about a 3D printer for them. And because of the volume, we are willing to give them a discount. So we said a 10% discount. So, about 67 or 6.7 million is what our total cost is going to be. Let me go back to the summary here. And I see that their budgeted amount is 6 million. So we're off a little bit. So I want to, have that conversation with Susan. So I want to call Susan. So I'm going to go over here to where Susan's contact record is. I'm just going to hover over her information, and I'm going to get her phone number. Now, again, I can integrate this with my phone system if I want to. I do not have it for this demo, but I'm going to call Susan and, talk to her. So again, I called Susan, and during that conversation, I want to log my phone call. So I'm going to go over here and just log that I had this phone call with Susan, and, I can put in what the conversation was. So I'm just going to say I had the conversation, and I'm going to save and close this. And now what's going to happen, I need to say, talk to Susan about, all right. Okay, so now anyone that comes into my timeline or sees what's going on, they can tell I did a phone call. This follow-up I did already, so now I'm just going to complete this follow-up. Alrighty, yep, I'm going to complete that. And then what I'm going to do is that I got a competitor. I already see I logged that competitor already inside of here. So now I'm going to go into here and say that, yes, I did get that competitor. I identified who the stakeholders were on here. So if I scroll up on here, Susan is the main stakeholder. She's the decision maker. So I have who I need. And the proposed solution was our 3D printers, and she liked that. She did like that proposed solution. So I'm actually going to go to the next stage within my opportunity. And now there's some other things I need to be working on here, but I have what I need so far. I was able to follow up with her, and now there's some other things I can work on. But one thing I did when I was talking with Susan is that I need to change my estimated close date. It's not going to be closing right away, so I'm going to push this out to the end of the month. So I'm just going to make this the end of the month. And now I have done everything I needed to do inside of this opportunity. My changes have been saved automatically. So now I'm going to go back to my dashboard and see what else I need to be working on while I'm here. So notice now my task is gone because I marked it as complete. I see that I have a weekly sales meeting coming up, and I know my sales manager is going to really hammer me on looking at my leads and my opportunities. So I have my list of leads here that have been assigned to me. I have a lead score on my leads. Now, let me just make a side comment on these lead scores. There's multiple different ways to get lead scores into the system. They can be manually entered in. They can be put in there through some calculations that you create inside of your environment. Otherwise, they could be coming in from an integration you have with a marketing automation platform, or they could be coming from a tool like Sales Insights, which is an add-on that Microsoft has. I am not focusing in this demo on how that lead score was generated. I'm more focusing on that there was one here and how I react to it, because I can now order my leads based on that. And I know anything above 80, my sales manager is going to want me to be taken care of. So since I have a meeting with her, I don't want to have these out here without me putting any type of notes or contact follow-up information against this. So I'm going to open up this one that has a lead score of 90, and it's for David. And when I open this up now, I'm going to be able to look at this timeline again. Same process. Look at the timeline. So the reason why this is 90 is that David called in to inquire about these services. I mean, that's about as hot as a lead as we could come into here. So I'm actually going to go up here and see that the rating, I'm going to change this rating to hot. It came from the web. That's fine. That's how we started talking to him, but they did that call. I'm going to reach out to David and ask him and talk to him about the items. So after I did that reach out to David and make that phone call, what I really should do is I should log my phone call as a proper process that I made that call. So I'm just going to say that, phone call, it was to me, discuss the lead /op. And then, I can put my details on my call in here. All right. So I'm going to log that phone call. So now you can see that phone call has been logged. But more importantly, we're moving forward with David. I want to be working with David, and David wants to work with us. So I'm going to qualify this lead. So I'm going to go up here and qualify this lead. And now what it's asking me for is that, hey, what do we want to create in here? Do we want to just create David as an account and a contact, or do we also want to create an opportunity off of this? I feel I have enough information. I feel that this is a good opportunity for us to move forward with. So I want to create the opportunity, and I'll hit OK. So now what it's doing is behind the scenes, it's closing this lead as qualified, and it's actually creating my opportunity for David, along with creating a contact for David, and it's also creating an account for David that he's from ABC company. So as this is processing right here, now, what I can do is, okay. Now what I can do is I can start working on this opportunity. Again, notice it brought over my tasks and different things from my phone calls that I had already with him. So now, I can keep working this opportunity. But now that I have this converted, I'm actually going to switch this over and put an estimated close date of about 2 months from now. And just right now, I feel that this is a $500,000 area. So now I have done as much as I need to do on here, and now I'm going to go back and see how I'm looking again from my other things. Go back to my dashboard, and now notice that, okay, that lead is gone, and I'm going to keep doing the same process for the rest of the leads so I don't get in trouble with my sales manager. Now let me go and focus on my opportunities here. So if I look at my opportunities, I have some opportunities, and I know they've been on me a couple times about, updating my estimated close date and estimating my estimated revenues to make sure that everything is looking well. Well, I have some outstanding ones here. I don't want to open up each one of these individually. I want to do some mass editing. So I'm going to go and I'm going to look at all of my records. So I'm going to go and look at all these records that are inside of here. So here's a list of all of my opportunities that I have. And right from here now, I can start going into here and I'm going to start editing some of these dates. So I'm going to go into here and I'm going to say that, you know what, I need to push this out a few months because I know that this is much bigger and they're not going to be done here. This one, I'm going to say that this percentage has gone down now, so I'm going to change this down to 50%. And I can go through here and just start editing all of this information without having to, open up each record and go through each record. So this allows me very quickly to go and update this information so that I don't have to, get yelled at next time I have a sales meeting. And then when my manager logs on, they can see all this information and how it was changed. So now I'm actually going to open up one of these opportunities here. And when I open up this opportunity, the biggest thing that I want to show you on here is that I'm going to go into here and now I'm going to look at the audit history on here. And then, so now what I can tell is that with me changing the estimated close dates on here and changing some other information, I can look at, and my manager can look at this history and see what the actual history looks like. And they can see that, you know what, I changed the probability and I also changed the value here. So now this just gives me the ability to track some of this information. My sales manager can see the history of this, how people have been working on it. And now I can see if anybody else has changed this too, just to see if there's multiple people working on this. All right, I'm going to go back to my dashboards now. And I have these different things and I can see, my opportunities look good. My leads look good. I see that I have a meeting. It's with City Power and Light. So now I need to go and I need to leave for my meeting. So right now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to switch over and start showing you how I can do all what we're just doing here through a mobile device. So give me a moment here as I switch over. And during this time, so I am on my mobile device here. So again, here you go. If you guys can see my screen now, I am on an Android device. This is available for any of, for iOS, for both phones and for tablets. So if I have a tablet or if I have a phone, I can use this. And it is an actual app. So I'm not going to a web browser. It is an app that I can download from the appropriate store. So notice I'm going to go to my menu item here. I have access to all the same records that I did inside of my Dynamics or inside of the web version. So I can look at my leads, my opportunities. I can look at my dashboards that I'm looking at. I can look at goals if I wanted to. So all the same capability is available in the mobile device. So I'm going to go over and look at my dashboards again. So this is my same dashboards. If I want to look at the tasks that I'm working on, or here's my calendar. So I want to see what my calendar looks like. And I have that meeting with City Power and Light. So I want to prepare for my meeting with City Power and Light. So I'm going to open up this actual appointment. So now this is going to open up the appointment on my mobile device. And I can see, who I'm going to be meeting with. But then more importantly, I want to look at the actual account record. So I'm going to open up this account record for City Power and Light. And this is going to bring up the account within here. This is the same exact layout that I have inside of my web. And now I can look at some of the information related to the account. Well, great. I'm not as concerned about the information about the account. I'm more concerned about what are the opportunities? What am I talking about during this account? So I'm going to go here and look at my related records, and I'm going to bring up, brought up the wrong thing here. I'm going to bring up opportunities. So now here's a list of all my opportunities that I have. So I have won some opportunities and I have some opportunities in progress. This notebook opportunity is the one that I'm most concerned with and I'm going to be talking about today. So I'm going to open up that notebook area. So now this is opening up the opportunity inside my mobile device. Notice I still have the business process flow, so I can see what I need to be looking here. So I need to really be understanding, who are we going against, what are the stakeholders, and again, just really trying to better understand what their need is. And then I can also see that, okay, their budgeted amount, and then we should be under their budgeted amount based on what we're looking at here. And I can just look at the other information that's associated with this opportunity. So now it's very easy for me to go from, my appointment and look at and do some research. But more importantly, I need to know how to get there, right? I need to know how to get to City Power and Light. And oops, I went back a little bit too far. So let me get back to my account record here in City Power and Light. And I'm going to scroll down here to the address, and I have mapping in here, and I'm going to say get directions. So now it's actually going to bring up my, on my device, it goes into here, and now I can get directions on where I need to go and how I need to get there. So it tightly integrates with my current apps inside of my phone. But then I'm going to go back to here. So now I'm on, I'm in here, I'm meeting with them, and I just want to take some notes. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to look at the timeline, see, some of the information that's specific there, but I'm going to add a new record inside of here. So I'm going to go and add a note. So I'm going to call this a note. Notice from here, I have my full keyboard capability, but this is a phone, so it's kind of a pain. I can also use voice to text capabilities when I'm logging my notes. So notice I use my voice to text. I added that note. Now it added that note into the timeline, and I can keep moving forward with everything that I need to do moving forward. So now, again, I'm going to go back and look at my dashboard. And this allows me to prepare for other areas or look up other things. Otherwise, if I want to go and start looking at some of my dashboards, and again, this is my one dashboard here, but I'm going to look at my sales activity dashboard. And now I can actually see, visually see some of the information and look at how I'm doing and where I'm going. So everything is at my fingertips right here, even though I'm on the go. One of the things that's hard to demo, because this is an online demo, is that there is an offline capability. So if I'm going to some place that just doesn't have cell service, or if I'm going into some company that just doesn't, it's an old steel building and the reception is horrible and you don't have Wi-Fi, I have the ability to take my core information that I want to see offline with me, so I can bring up my opportunities, bring up my counts. I could add notes to it, and when I go back online, my notes and different things that I added will be added back into my account within Dynamics. So now that you have seen everything that we can do from inside the mobile app, from a salesperson perspective, inside the web app from a salesperson perspective, let's go back and see what it is from a manager perspective and how they can kind of drill into this information at a high level. So I'm actually going to switch back over to all right. So now I am back inside of my Dynamics environment through the web here. So now we're going to switch this over to an activity dashboard. So this dashboard, again, it's similar to one I brought up on the mobile device, but now what I'm able to see here is that I'm going to look at the pipeline overall for my whole team, and I want to drill into this stage. So I'm going to actually click into here, and I want to see how this is broken up by the people that own these different opportunities. So I'm going to drill into owner, and I want to see this way. All right. This is a little bit hard to read, so I'm going to expand this. Perfect. now I can see who's selling what. I can get on Jeff's case because he's not keeping up with the rest of them. But Veronica seems to be really killing it. I want to see who Veronica is selling to. So I'm going to drill into Veronica right here, and I'm going to look for potential customer. So potential customer, and let's do this as a vertical. Okay. So now, all right, now I can actually get on Veronica a little bit because she has some of the customers signed up, but she's got a large amount where her opportunities are just not looking appropriate. They don't have the person on here. So what I'm going to actually do is I'm going to go back and I want to look at the actual records that are associated to this to this view that I'm looking at. So I'm going to go and look at these records directly. And so now I can go and I can work with Veronica and we can get these accounts set up in here appropriately, get the estimated close dates set up and get the probability. And, me as a sales manager, if I'm working with Veronica, again, I can just be working right through here and just start going through here and entering in this information with her so that we can, make sure everything looks accurate. And it's very quickly, I don't have to open up each one of these. So that was how we were able to, again, we were able to really switch from, I was able to show you how we can do from a sales representative, do a lead management, pipeline management, do the on-site visit, come back into here and then do the team review, looking at dashboards and drilling down into the actual dashboards and then drilling down to actually seeing the actual records. So as I mentioned at the beginning, this is a very high level demo on what you can do, but I want to show you that there's a lot of powerful capabilities with just the default features. So there's a lot more features and functions available, and so please stay tuned as we continue to dive into this with future webinars and future blogs. But if you have any questions, please let us know. Otherwise, we look forward to talking to you in the future. Julia, I'll hand it back over to you.
All right. Thank you for that great demonstration, Tom. I'm sure today's listeners learned a lot about the ins and outs of Microsoft Dynamics 365 for Sales that they didn't know before. Follow our website to stay up to date with what's new in marketing, sales, customer service, Microsoft Dynamics 365 for Sales, and CRM. Our goal is to keep you as updated as possible, and boy, do we love doing it. We'll be back with more webinars soon. We post daily blog updates, so if you want to learn more about topics and subtopics covered in today's webinar, I encourage you to subscribe to our website for more updates and browse it for recent ones. Before you log off, as a reminder, if you did miss it in my intro, we recorded today's presentation and we'll be sending everyone a link to access the webinar on demand. You can share that within your professional networks. That email will be coming from ledgeview Partners, so once again, make sure we're added to your safe senders list to ensure you have no trouble receiving our emails. With any questions you have that you didn't get to ask, as Tom said, you can reach out to us via email at contactus@ledgeviewpartners.com. All right, that's it for today, everyone. We look forward to engaging with you on our many channels and hope you have a terrific day. We'll see you soon.